Hi, I'm Billy Puckett with Wood Houston Bank. Thanks for tuning in again. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Wyky Jean. Originally from Pompano Beach, Florida, Wyky graduated from Southeast Missouri State University and has since had an interesting and impactful journey of passion and education. In 2016, he started a nationally recognized mentorship program empowering the minds of young men ages 10 to 18 who are facing challenging situations in school and at home. As a real estate agent, he serves his clients by helping them improve their credit score and providing homeownership education regularly. And day to day, you will find him leading the implementation of diversity, equity, and inclusion for St. Francis Healthcare System. Wyky has a passion to serve and wants to help you recognize your biases while educating and encouraging you to develop a mindset of inclusion within your workplace.
If you do not intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. See, there are various dimensions of diversity. We have age and generation, gender identity, race, nationality, ethnicity, religion, and even disabilities. These are the protected classes of 1964. Research shows that workplace diversity attracts top talent. 67% of job seekers say a diverse workforce is important to job seekers when considering job offers. For this conversation, we'll focus on generational diversity and the change in workforce demographics. Generational diversity is defined as a body of individuals born in approximately the same time period who generally share similar behaviors and attitudes. Understanding these generational differences can provide greater insight on how we handle workplace situations. Most work environments have 4 generations in the workplace with various expectations, motivations, attitudes, and behaviors. Traditionalists, also known as our veterans, are between the ages of 73 and 90 years old. Baby boomers are between the ages of 54 and 72 years old. Generation X are between 38 and 53 years old. Millennials, also known as Generation Y, are between the ages of 22 and 37 years old. 21 and under are considered post-millennials, also known as Generation Z. See, understanding generational diversity matters. Why? Most millennials were born between the ages of 5 and 20 during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Members of Gen Z have little to no memory of the event and how it felt to live in the world pre-9/11, and they may not comprehend the historical significance of that moment. For example, travel and security and IDs, even databases. Millennials grew up during the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, which contributed to broader views and changed political ideologies. Most millennials were between ages 12 and 27 during the 2008 election. This generation was integral in the election of the first Black president. Millennials are the most racially and ethnically diverse adult generation in the nation's history. They embrace diversity and use it to their advantage. Gen Zs have grown up in an always-on, technological and tethered environment. Gen Zs tend to have a more rapid response mindset. Remember, workplace diversity attracts top talent. 67% of job seekers say a diverse workforce is important to them when considering job offers. Now let's shift our attention to the changes in demographics of our workforce. In the 20 years spanning 1997 to 2017, the United States population grew by more than 50 million people, particularly in the numbers of people of color. The racial and ethnic group to experience the most growth was the Hispanic population, followed by the Asian population. Looking into the near future, these demographic trends will continue. The U.S. workforce will continue to become more and more diverse. According to William H. Frey, by 2045, the racial profile of the U.S. population will be 49% Caucasian and white, 25% Hispanic, 13% African American and Black, 4% Asian, and 1% multiracial. Please remember, if you do not intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. It is important to broaden our thought process from simply diverse to becoming more inclusive. transform from being an organization which has a tradition of affirmative action to one that which creates access to tools, resources, and opportunities. One which proactively engages employees and creates opportunities for retention and success. An organization which is overall equity-minded. We must leverage the diversity within the organization to proactively become more of an inclusive organization, which incorporates these practices in our day-to-day duties and responsibilities. Let's shift our focus to the consequences of not being inclusive. Primary issues are related to cost of time, money, and efficiency. Other consequences can include unhealthy tensions between people of differing genders, races, ethnicities, ages, abilities, etc., which can result in dysfunctional and low-functioning teams, loss of productivity because of conflict, absenteeism, and turnover, and the inability to attract and retain talented people from various backgrounds. Also, complaints and legal actions related to human rights violations. When we discuss consequences, one of the most relevant for many companies in this moment is labor shortages. We are seeing a large trend where people desire healthy work environments, and if that isn't the case, well, they would not proceed to work there. You may be wondering, so what's the solution? What's the one thing we can do? There is no single solution. To accelerate and sustain progress, employers will need to commit to a synergistic set of actions that address complex problems holistically. Holistically meaning the people. Assessing and modifying your processes and your practices, and holding accountable your leadership team's behavior. In order to create change, we must first start with yourself. First, acknowledge that we all have biases. We must first acknowledge and be aware when your subconscious mind engages your biased state of mind. Do not let that state of mind make decisions for you. Secondly, you must be willing to increase your own cultural competence. What is cultural competence? Cultural competence is the ability to interact effectively with people of different cultures and socioeconomic backgrounds. Seek to understand what's important to someone else who is of a different background or identity. It's okay to ask questions. What do you enjoy eating? What are your hobbies? What's traditional to you? What holidays does your culture celebrate and why is it important to you? How do you like to work? What tools and resources are you needing in the workplace to help do the tasks that's asked of you? Third, you must have an equitable-minded approach in all practices, policies, and promotional opportunities in your organization. Now let's recap. Workplace diversity attracts top talent. 67% of job seekers say diverse workforce is important to them when considering job offers. There are various dimensions of diversity. Today, we focused on generational diversity and the changes in the workforce demographics. Understanding these generational differences can provide greater insight on how we handle workplace situations. Most work environments have 4 generations in the workplace with various expectations, motivations, attitudes, and behaviors. Millennials are the most racially and ethnically diverse adult generation in the nation's history. Millennials embrace diversity. Gen Zs have grown up in an always-on technological and tethered environment. Gen Zs tend to have a rapid response mindset. Let's touch on the consequences of not being inclusive. Primary issues are related to cost of time, money, and inefficiency, as well as unhealthy tensions, the inability to attract and retain talented people, as well as complaints and legal actions related to human rights violations. Please remember, there is no single solution. To accelerate and sustain progress, employers will need to commit to a synergistic set of actions that address complex problems holistically. Holistically meaning your people, and are you listening? Looking at your processes and modifying those processes and those practices. Holding accountable the behaviors of your leadership teams and your colleagues. Consider these 5 benefits to a more inclusive workplace. Increased creativity and innovation, higher engagement, better reputation and reduced employee turnover, better problem solving, and increased profit. Here's my challenge to you. First, envision. Envision a diverse and equitable future. Think of a beautiful garden with all types of flowers and plants, and each plant serves its own purpose and has its own God-given gift, but each plays a role in that garden. 2, analyze workforce data. Analyze workforce data to diagnose gaps and opportunities by conducting employee surveys and focus groups to gain insight on the landscape of your organization's culture and the experiences that your colleagues are going through. And 3, start shaping what inclusion looks like for your organization based off of the feedback you receive. And remember, if you do not intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. Thank you.
What questions do you have? Be sure to reach out and connect with Wyky today. Tomorrow, Dr. Ben Dow will be guiding you through how to prepare for your financial future one goal at a time. See you then.